we start off with men and emotions because we realize that a lot of men in San Quentin have cut off all of their emotions. That's why a person can go and commit a murder or kill 10 people and don't have any remorse. In terms of one of the biggest challenges is that fatherhood is an afterthought. It's not intentional. And when I say it's not intentional, services do not provide the same services for fathers as they do mothers. It's very destructive when the father is missing from the home.
Yeah.
And I'm not badgering the mothers. What I'm saying is it's not either or, it's and.
We believe that the next wave of innovation is innovation in the area of social impact.
We want to try to bring awareness about the incarcerated.
A huge number of people are currently homeless simply because they could not get legal help.
A safe place where they can get set free.
There's no hack for human connection.
Codependency is an addiction.
Do not try to do this big thing at once. Start with a little.
When you're searching for the gold, you will get back so much more than you ever thought possible.
So what do you think? The ball's in your court. Welcome to the Innovat3 Podcast. We're here in the Presidio at the House of Web3 in the Presidio in San Francisco. And Innovat3, powered by Geo, it's all about working together, collaborating together, bringing the best ideas to make the world better, to solve the world's biggest challenges. So today I get to talk with my good friend Stewart Perrilliat. It's good to be with you here. Stewart is Dr. Stewart Perrilliat. He's the founder of Man to Man Urban Youth Outreach. We met in San Quentin Prison. Neither of us has been incarcerated by God's grace.
Amen.
But we've been working in there. So Stewart, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Stewart Perrilliat, Dr. Stewart Perrilliat, as Ted has shared. I run a program called Man to Man Urban Youth Advocate, which is a multifaceted program. It deals with men on just about every level, from men in masculinity to emotions, to conflict resolution, domestic violence, but we specialize in fatherhood.
Okay, so talk more about Man to Man and what are your programs? You're still in San Quentin, right?
Now I'm in San Quentin running several programs.
Okay.
So I run, we start off with men and emotions because we realize that a lot of men in San Quentin have cut off all of their emotions. That's why a person can go and commit a murder or kill 10 people and don't have any remorse. And so we have to bring that back. And so we start talking about empathy and being able to communicate in a safe place where they can get set free, and then we go in to start with the communication classes, trying to teach them how to communicate, because they're gonna have to know how to communicate before they go before the board and talk to the board. They have to understand what they have learned. They're gonna have to articulate that to the judge. And so then we deal with the fatherhood.
You were telling me about a program, Malachi Dads, that you were running at one time. I don't know if you're still doing that, but that was...
The Malachi Dad is still being ran. That's really ran by the inmates.
Okay.
We do Inside Out Dad and 24/7 Dad.
Okay.
Which I'm, certified with the National Fatherhood Institution to do that. But yeah, we started teaching all of these classes and, under Sam Robinson.
About the adult, teaching the incarcerated individuals, the brothers, how to restore relationships with their adult kids and how they have to go through their mother, through the children's mother, and restore the relationship with that. I summarize it as basically you teach them, for good or for bad, their mother is the gatekeeper to the relationship with them. You're never going to have what you had before. You screwed up, you lost that, but you can be good co-parents. You can restore a cordial working relationship. And the way you do it is you develop an appetite for humble pie.
Yeah.
You learn how to humble yourself.
Yeah.
And
it's important, because a lot of these guys, one, they don't have great communication skills, but they're going to have to know how to communicate with the mother in order to have access to them. Because like you said, the mother is the gatekeeper. So we're teaching these fathers how to be engaged in their children's life while they're in prison. And they're building this relationship not only with the kids, but also with the mother, whether they're together or not. And that's what the dissertation is It's the recon mission, reconciliation through fatherhood training, teaching fathers how to be engaged in their children's life and their ex-partners.
Excellent. You also have a book coming out very soon, right?
Yes, yeah, we do. We're working on a 4-volume book on healthy masculinity.
Okay.
And then we also have a book that's dealing with fatherhood. And it's actually it's a book dealing with all the challenges that men deal with in terms of custody, in terms of social services, in terms of the biasness that goes on within the courts.
So all of this is about you taking your own challenges and you've overcome them, and now you're giving back to the community. And I mean, you're an expert at that because you've been there and you've done that.
Yeah, lived experience. I just had a conversation with a woman yesterday for the California model. Have you heard about that?
No.
So the California model is several organizations in San Quentin Prison working together using their expertise. And so they have like 4 weeks to do presentations to the inmates, letting them know these classes are available to you. Okay. And so I'm a part of that as well.
So it's a collaborative effort.
It's a collaborative effort.
I love it. Yeah.
And they want me to talk about the domestic violence class that we teach. And so that book is coming out as well. So yeah.
You're also doing lots of work outside the prison. Tell me more about that.
Well, we just opened our office. You got to come.
Okay.
It's East Oakland.
Oh, great. Congratulations.
Thank you. It used to be a mall.
Okay.
When I grew up, that's where I spent all my time in the summer, was at this mall.
That's beautiful. Redemption, full circle.
It's the only mall at that time for people of color. That was something that we call ours, Eastmont Mall.
Okay.
Believe it or not, they closed the mall, and now it's social services. Okay. When I walk out my office, Social Security office is across the hall.
Okay.
Vocational training is downstairs.
Okay.
Behavior health is downstairs. The public health department is down the hall. So it's a one-stop shop. The only place that's not excellent. There is DMV. So when the person comes out of prison and they come and they fill out the intake forms, in our office, we can direct them to get the training and the services that they need in the same building.
Well, that's excellent, because that's the best practice, because one of the reasons we get negative results is because our system is so fragmented and it's very, very difficult to navigate.
Right. So
you guys are bringing them all to one place to serve them better so they can get everything they need. Excellent. Wow, that's cool. Congratulations on that.
And the real good thing about that is probation is right down the street. So we're collaborating with the probation department. We're teaching these classes, and now we got the transitional homes in place too. So probably in another month or so, we've got a person that is willing to donate money so that we can get these transitional homes. Not the transitional homes where it's 3 people to a room. Every person who comes out, becomes the man-to-man, who graduated from man-to-man, will have their own room.
Wow, that's important. So I love this. I mean, if fatherlessness is the problem,
the root cause.
That's right. It's the root cause. It's the root of that's driving everything else. I mean, you're modeling the solution. And what I love is, like one of the principles of this whole my worldview and of Innovat, like often we look at the incarcerated brothers or, the urban youth. Like when you started out, the youth were the problem.
That's right. That's why it's called man-to-man urban youth.
Yeah. And then the paradigm shift is the people aren't part of the problem. The people are the unlocked potential that is part of the solution. And there you are, a young man, now a grown man, now a father, a good father to your children. Mm-hmm. And now you're bringing fatherhood. You're being a father to the community, and the healing is coming from the inside out.
That's right.
So it's in process. We've got to see what can happen next. So talk about the future. What are you most excited about? What do you think the biggest challenge right now young fathers or society is facing in the issue of fatherhood?
in terms of one of the biggest challenges is that fatherhood is an afterthought. It's not intentional. And when I say it's not intentional, services do not provide the same services for fathers as they do mothers. When mothers go through Lamont's class and get prepared for the child, the father's there, but there's nothing for him. And institutions don't want to fix that situation for whatever reason, because when the mom is going through the Lamont's classes, the father could be taking parenting classes to teach him how to hold that baby, how to be engaged in how to nurture that child, how to be a protector, a provider, things that they didn't have, but get them the tools. First Five works with kids from 0 to 5. And I just did a grant, I applied for a grant that they never had before. And they don't have anything for fathers, but they have everything for mothers. And they turned down the grant. They say they like what I'm doing, but they don't have anything for fathers.
They don't have a category for it. I mean, it's good that we have programs for children and for mothers. That's important. Mm-hmm. But what you're saying is you also need to have them for fathers, and you need to look at the whole family as a unit.
That's
Without
right.
the father, it's very incomplete. It's tragically incomplete.
It's very destructive when the father is missing from the home.
Yeah.
And so what, and I'm not badgering the mothers. What I'm saying is it's not either or, it's and.
Both and. Yeah, we need the resources for the mothers, and we need the resources for the fathers, and we need the resources for them both, and we need to strengthen the family.
There's no funding, very little funding for fatherhood.
So that's the challenge.
That's the challenge.
What gives you hope? What are you most optimistic about?
What I'm most optimistic about is the fact that people are recognizing that this is an issue. I'm going fishing on a fishing trip next month in Alaska.
Okay.
And
That'd get me excited.
I'm thinking I'm going fishing in Alaska with my brother that we used to do this when my father was alive. But because that was what we did. We went on a fishing trip.
Okay.
But what happens here is, as I have planned the trip, I met a gentleman from Alaska.
Okay.
So he says, you should extend your time. I said, why should I extend my time? He says, because there's some people in the prison I want you to meet.
Wow.
And I got transitional homes in Alaska that I want to show you how we do it in Alaska. And hopefully we can partner together and go national with these transitional homes. And we need your curriculum.
Wow. Okay. So you're seeing a shift that people are starting to realize the issue, and as a result, you're having favor. Wow, that's wonderful.
We've been asked to have man and man. This is when you say, what do you look forward to? I'm looking forward to addressing this fatherless issue everywhere in the world. And I know that sounds big, but listen to what I'm saying. Statistics says that
we're in Silicon Valley. You better dream big.
let me say this. Fatherlessness is the most destructive trend, and you hear me say it all the time.
Yep.
But fatherlessness is the most destructive trend in every country.
Yeah.
So wherever there's a father, there's an issue, and some countries worse than others. So we've been asked to take it to Uganda. We asked to take it to Ghana. We was asked to take it to Canada. We was asked to take it to the Bahamas, the Philippines. You know why? Because they got this issue and they don't know what to do about it. But they are more interested than here in the United States, where all the money is.
Yeah. You said something. You got lots of invitations. You don't need more invitations. You need an invitation with funding.
Yeah, I have a lot of speaking engagements and I got a lot of opportunities to speak on this, but very little funding to do it.
Well, hopefully that'll start changing.
I'm looking forward to Friday, where the Golden State Warriors have said that man to man is the face of fatherhood for the Golden State Warriors.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Yes. So this opens up an opportunity with a former player to have a panel discussion to talk about what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that there's more than 50% of NBA players that grew up without a father.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
And they're getting
And they're
fined millions of dollars because they can't control their anger. Because they still mad. They still angry.
Well, you look at someone like LeBron James. I mean, to me, I look at like one of the things I'm optimistic about. You talk about the awareness in the culture and the shift in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You look at someone like LeBron James and Steph Curry as example. LeBron James didn't have a father, but he had a mentor who basically adopted him. And then Curry had a great, very strong family relationship growing up. And you see them as the face of the NBA, and they're known as fathers. They aspire. So every young kid wants to be like Curry or like LeBron James, or what they see. These kids, these guys are faithful fathers. They care about their children. I mean, the public image of Steph Curry is his little girls running around at everything. I think that is so powerful. And you see a shift in the culture of awareness of this, out of the pain, and out of the pain coming healing, you know, from the inside out.
LeBron's is a very exceptional story. I mean, for what he has done without the skills, without a father, without, you know, growing up in the projects, that is a miracle.
Yeah.
You talk about Kobe, he had a father. You talk about Clay, he had a father. You can see the difference. You talk about Allen Iverson.
Statistically, too. I mean, you just see it as overperformers and athlete, you know, outliers in any sports. If their family, if they come from a family, if their parents were athletes and they're raised in that culture, it gives them, you know, an incredible advantage.
Gary Payton was in his children's life. And in his nephew's life, his nephew.
Look what his son has overcome. Man, what a hero. That's one of my favorite players. He's sponsoring one of our partners, you know, Mobilize Love, Christian Wong. He's part of Innovat3. So now they have this first truck, and it's going in San Francisco to at-risk areas and providing free testing for early intervention. It's really cool.
I love that. And you know, having a conversation with Gary, I know. And I have a lot of conversations with him. I remember when his youngest son was in a car accident. And talking to Gary about his dad raising him. And I'm not going to say how he raised him, but I would say that if we did that, we would be locked up today. But that's what kept him where he is now. Because you know, he was skipping school. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. And his father took care of that. And that never happened again. I'm not condoning that behavior, but I'm saying he was there, he was present, he was active, and he was consistent in Gary's life. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we talk about this piece, man, when in terms of, and you're asking me, what do we have hope about? The hope is going to Tennessee and meeting with the Commissioner of Human Services and having a fatherhood conference where the mayor of Tennessee and the governor of Tennessee and the federal head person of child support services and commissioners and all these people who makes decisions is at this one thing called Amplified Fatherhood.
When is this already happened?
This happened last year.
Okay.
But I was a part of that.
Oh.
And meeting with this guy and he's saying, you know, the commissioner, he's saying, hey, look, I will help you do that in California. So we're trying to bring that here so we can get these Congress people and commissioners and governors and mayors, because they don't understand this will make their society more healthy. Crime will go down, drug addiction will go down, teenage pregnancy will go down, mental health issues will go down. You know, it's now taking this information, taking it to people who can make decisions to transform their cities and their communities.
Wow.
And we need the church.
The faith community.
We need there's just as many divorces in the church as well as out.
Yeah.
And there is just as many missing fathers in the church as out.
Yep, we need a transformation to bring healing to our society from the inside out. And everyone's got to get involved.
Everybody
Well,
needs to get involved.
I mean, you're right on the front lines. I love I love the work you're doing. You're such an inspiration, and I love your hope. So, how can people reach you? How can people, someone's watching this, they want to learn more. How can they find you?
They can go on to our website, which is man-to-man-uya.org. They can follow me in Facebook. Just type in Man to Man.
Okay. Well, are you most active on Facebook? Is that the social media platform?
Social media, Instagram,
Okay.
TikTok. You just put man, number 2, man,
Okay.
dash UYA,
Okay.
and they can find me. But the website has all the resources, and it also has the point of contacts as well. If they want to see the work that I do, they just Google my name,
So,
and they can see
Stewart Perrilliat.
Yeah. Stewart,
Yes.
and then Perrilliat.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to spell it. I finally figured out how to spell it by spelling it properly in my phone, so I can always look for it.
So yeah, and they can follow me on that. But the best way is to go on the website, and then if they want to be a volunteer, or they want to give a donation, or they have somebody that they want in our program, they can,
Oh, they want to invite you to come speak at
Or
their
they want-
church
yeah.
or their community event. Yeah, you're a very charismatic, dynamic speaker. So.
Ted, you're so nice, man. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, man. This was excellent. I'm a huge fan of the work you do and trying to support it as best we can. And let's create a world where the family's healed, where fathers have the resources they need to, be good fathers and raise their kids properly.
Now I got one last thing I want to
All
share
right.
with you.
Okay. Closing words.
So, Father's Day was last Sunday, right?
Yes.
And my daughter just graduated from high school, and she's a camp leader, and they were training her up to Father's Day. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna hang out with my daughter and my son. On Father's Day is when the new campers arrived. So she couldn't spend time with her father because campers are going camping, Now you tell me, would they ever do that on Mother's Day? I guarantee you nowhere in the world they're going to have anything camping or anything on Mother's Day. But that's how much they think about fathers.
So we got to change that.
We got to
We gotta
change it.
change the culture. But things are changing and we're hopeful.
Yeah.
All
and I
right. Well,
believe
keep
God.
up the good work. And thank you so much for joining us. This is the Innovat3 Podcast, and explore the other episodes. And thank you for your attention.